We just had like 4 good pitches in a row.
4 solid pitches and nothing.
Absolutely not.
We got 0 chance of getting a sale today. That's what we're trying to say. It's the mustache. You're gonna film me?
Yeah.
All right. Derek with XL Energy. Here to shut off the power. Let's see how this goes.
I'm here to shut your power.
Should I acknowledge the camera? Should we just see how it goes?
Yeah, just see how it goes. Hi there.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Hey, not bad. I'm Derek. We've just been installing your neighbor right there, your next door neighbor today, Ion Solar. We're just doing some training. You don't have to authorize to use this or not, but essentially we're just acting as marketing today for that install. After talking to a few of your neighbors, I don't know if we've already talked to you.
No, we're good. We're not gonna do that. Thank you though.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Take care, man. So that interaction was kind of a little bit awkward. He went to grab the package, and being that that was my first interaction on film, I didn't really want to push too hard. I might as well just kind of cut my losses, keep my state up so that I can bring that state to the next one.
Utter defeat.
Yeah, bro, if I film you, I want to do that.
Huh?
It seems like the easier job.
What?
You seem like you're gonna better
I'm enjoying it, dog. I'm having a time.
Yeah. You should get down on your knees. I think that'd be more professional.
This is weird.
Yeah, get off your knees, bro. It looks like we're like, maybe you should like stand over there so they can't see you. This is making me nervous, dude.
It should. It should.
Hey, how's it going, sir?
Fine, what can I help you with?
Hey, we're just stopping by. We're not selling anything today. I'm Derek. This is Shay. We're with Ion.
I don't know what that is.
It's a solar installation company.
Okay, I have a no soliciting sign. I understand you're not selling me anything today, but given the fact that you've ignored this sign and rung my doorbell, do you think I'll ever do business with Ion?
Maybe not.
Okay, so there is an Arvada city ordinance that requires that unless I have an existing relationship with a business, if they're not allowed to come to the door if there's a no soliciting sign.
Yeah.
So if you're my pest control company, or
Sure.
you're delivering a package, or you're my yard maintenance people,
Sure.
you're welcome to come to the door. I've never done business with Ion.
Okay.
You're violating this order. What do you want to do? Move on?
Yes,
Or
sir.
have me report this to the city of Arvada?
We'll go ahead and
Yes,
move
sir.
on.
We'll get out of here.
Apologize.
Have a good
Why are
day.
you videoing?
Training purposes.
Put me in your training video.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
This is going great.
He authorized to be in the video.
He did.
It would have been more funny if I was just kneeling in the rocks next to you. I'm telling you.
We were just chatting with your neighbor. He was super friendly. I think he's gonna sign up. Be more funny?
Yeah.
Alright.
You're just boring to watch.
You're right, dude. Clown mode. Engage.
Hold it back.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Hello.
Sorry
Hi
for
there.
setting off your dog. I'm Derek with Ion. This is Shay. We're just filming for training purposes today. You don't have to authorize it or anything. But essentially, we're just out here as marketing. We just finished a solar install, so we're following up, talking to people about Excel's net metering program. I don't know if you've heard anything about that or read anything on that.
No.
Okay. Essentially, it's just an energy savings program that Excel, United, IREA, all the utility companies are taking part in to financially incentivize homeowners like yourself in higher caliber neighborhoods like this to become producers of power through putting solar panels on the roof.
Sure.
It's different than the program used to be, because in the past it was either like a leasing program where it made it kind of a nightmare to sell, or it was a large down payment where it took 5, 10, 20 years to see a return on that investment. Nowadays, there's no down payment. It's totally free. We actually cover the cost of install. And so how you end up paying for it is money that's already within the parameter of your budget, so to speak, money that you've already been paying to Excel. We just redirect that money so that you're paying yourself, you're keeping it into equity. So for people who qualify, essentially, if you were to close your eyes, you wouldn't even be able to tell that you had solar, because the same amount of money is coming out of your bank account every month. So that's sort of the condensed pitch.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to sell you solar today. Obviously, there's no way I could ever get a doorstep, decision. It's not how solar sales works.
Okay.
Essentially, we're just trying to gauge interest out here today. And for homeowners who want to look into this more, who want more information, what we do is we actually drop off customized reports for people. Basically, shows you where the panels would go, shows you the numbers, if it's going to offset your bill. For some people it makes a lot of sense and that's why they do it, and for some people it doesn't make a lot of sense, and unless they're really gung-ho about the whole, you know, green earth type thing, then they usually don't do it.
Okay.
And so essentially it costs us pennies on the dollar to actually create these reports because it's all automated via software, that sort of thing. We just look at your roof, the annual usage that you're already paying to Excel, and then all we ask in return is that you just give us 10 to 15 minutes. That way you're actually expecting us, we can walk through the report with you, and that way you're actually, you know, can intake what we're saying instead of us just ambushing you on the door. So fighting the uphill battle, right? Because you're probably doing something before we knocked on the door. So is that something you might be interested in? Can we put you down on the list? We're gonna be.
Not this time. I don't even know how long I'm gonna be here.
Okay.
I could be leaving 6 months from now.
This area seems to be pretty transitory. It seems like
Yeah.
a lot of people go in and out of this area.
Corporations drop us off here.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
I hate to invest in it and then not get my money out of the investment.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So it depends on how long you're thinking about moving. You think it might be within 6 months?
Could be 6 months to a year. Yeah, my
Right.
company moves me around a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The one thing, you know, if you were to move in 6 months, you would probably still come out on top, just because right now there's a 22% tax benefit. So essentially, if the system costs 20 grand, right, the government's going to give you a check for $4,400 right off the bat, and then it's actually your cash to do whatever with you want to. So you could actually just take that money and you can put it into the system. If you put it into the system, for every dollar you put into the system, you're getting about 90 cents to $1 back, because the average appraisal
Oh,
of the
look at
system
it.
is-
I don't gave up.
I don't know if
I think
if that
he was-
logically hit or if he was just like,
No,
I think it's gonna be easier just to get this
I think
report.
he just gave up right there.
Yeah, I think he did too.
Just let me write something up and let's look at it and evaluate it.
Sure, yeah, and it's obviously it's no obligation too. You know, we're not looking for a yes or no when we come back with the report. We just want to put you in the driver's seat, so to speak. So
Sure.
yeah, all we gotta do is just take down a few basic information, details, and then we'll get out of your hair for you.
Okay.
What do you do for work, by the way?
Retail management.
Retail management.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll give it an F for.
35 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Long time.
Got some experience then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What was your name?
Is that your competitor there, Sunrun?
It is.
They are. Yeah.
They're number 2. We're number 1. Actually, is the funny thing.
Like I was saying, to build a report, we look at your annual usage. So we got to get that from Excel. Fortunately, they don't put it on the bill. Every other electric utility actually just puts the graph on the bill that we can take a photo of.
Yeah.
But Excel actually makes us call. I have the magic code. It literally takes 30 seconds. All you got to do is just say your name.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even look at him. I just looked down at my phone and started dialing.
Oh, do you do the same thing with the car sales? Just like basically just start doing it.
Great.
All right.
So cool. That's all we need. We'll stop by tomorrow at 4.
Okay.
And then, yeah, we'll drop that off to you, let you mull it over.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yes, sir. Well,
Appreciate it.
We appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Good
sir.
to meet you. Take care.
Gang.
All right, we're doing some suburban Xing right now. Shay's about to climb on this suburb. I own Excel Energy. Now I'm ending you. I'm with USA Liberty Firearms Solar.
I'm here to sell you guns. Guns and butter.
Hell, Mike.
Hi
there. it's not.
How's it going, sir?
Good, yourself?
Doing well. It's actually been pleasant out for a little while.
Yeah.
My name's Dan. This is Derek.
Hey, how's it going?
I don't know if you noticed, a lot of your neighbors have been getting power projects put on their home. So essentially, I'm just coming by just to ask people if they kind of have any information about Excel's net metering program, and just kind of update them on the program. I understand. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just here to actually bring information about the program.
I'm good. Thanks.
Gotcha. What has deterred you from the past, if you mind me asking?
I'm sorry?
What deterred you in the past from the program?
For solar?
Yes.
My wife's in oil and gas.
Oh, well, that's awesome. I have a lot of friends in oil and gas, too. The nice part is...
I'm done, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
Good one.
Have a great day. That's not an objection.
We're actually putting oil rigs on roofs. See, our program's a little different.
I'm gonna put a coal power plant. It's funny, right?
This is comedy.
We could, yeah.
Hi
Hey,
there.
how's it going, ma'am? Hey, I'm Derek. This is Shay. We're with Ion Solar. We're actually just doing some work right across the street. The reason we're filming today is just training purposes, so if you don't want us to film, just say no. Okay.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi
how you
there.
doing, sir?
Oh, pretty good.
Hey, good to hear. I'm Derek. This is Shay. We're with Ion Solar. The reason we're filming today is just for training purposes. Essentially, we're just finishing up one of the projects over there.
Okay.
They send us out as marketing to kind of talk about Excel Energy's net metering program.
All right.
Have you heard about that? Have you read any literature on that?
Not really.
Okay. So essentially, it's just a new energy savings program that that Excel, United, IREA, all the electric utilities in the state are participating in to basically incentivize homeowners like yourself in higher caliber areas like this to become producers of their power instead of consumers by putting solar panels on their house. It's a little different than it was in the past. In the past, you used to either lease them or there was a down payment that took 5, 10, 20 years to see a return on investment. Essentially now there's no down payment. We do the installation costs all for free. And so how you pay for it? Well, you use money that you're already paying to Excel. And instead of paying that money to Excel, essentially you're just redirecting that into the panels. And so for people who qualify, what we do is just take a 12-month average and lock you in at what you're already paying to Excel. So instead of just, it's like the metaphor of renting your power versus owning your power, it's the same principle as a mortgage where you're actually getting principal pay down with every electric bill instead of just throwing it away.
Right.
So that's kind of the pitch in a nutshell. We're not here to sell anything today. Unfortunately, we couldn't sell you solar if we tried today, but essentially we're just gauging interest. We're trying to see if people have any interest at all in looking at a customized report, which would basically tell you if you qualify. The reason we're knocking on this street today is a lot of houses do qualify because you got a nice south slope. So essentially we'd have a lot of space to put solar panels.
Okay.
But the other variable would be how much energy usage you have. If it's through the roof or if it's not enough, then it's not going to offset and it's really not going to make sense for you financially.
Right.
So essentially all the report would just, it costs us, a few cents. We just look at the satellite images of the roof. We put together a report, see if we're going to be able to offset it for you. All we ask in return is that you just give us 10, 15 minutes to kind of walk through the report with you. That way you can actually be expecting us instead of us kind of doing the uphill battle of trying to, steal your attention away from whatever you're doing before.
Right.
So, and essentially we're not trying to get a yes or no when we do come back with the report. We know that if we put reports in front of enough people, roughly 30% of people are going to convert into sales without us having to do anything. So essentially we just explain everything to you, we'd email it to you, and then get out of your hair. We wouldn't be looking for a decision that day either. We just want to arm homeowners with information.
Oh, okay.
So is that something we could put you down for? We're actually going to be dropping off one for, was it this one?
He was right there.
Yeah, one of your names, Joseph Smith.
Smith.
Joseph Smith, the guy who works for Walmart right across the street. We're going to be dropping it off for him tomorrow at 4. So, we could either do 3 or 5 if you're going to be around. I don't know what your schedule's like.
Yeah, I think this week and next week are going to be pretty tight.
Pretty tight? Okay.
Maybe the following week if that's possible.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Of course, next week's going to be tight with the holidays and everything, so.
Yeah, that's why next week's not going to work.
Yeah, so the week of the 1st, we could do, the 1st is Tuesday. So, I don't know what time you get off work, but we could swing by after.
Around 4 or 5.
Well, anytime I think after between 5 and 6:37 is fine.
Okay. Yeah, we can shoot for 5.
Okay.
And then just plan for 10-15 minutes if you just want the pure information. If if you have any more questions, we're gonna block off a whole hour just in case you have a ton of questions. Obviously, we've probably been talking for 10 minutes, so time kind of flies when you're talking about interesting things. So perfect. We just need to take down a few basic details, and then we'll get out of your hair.
Oh, okay.
So the last thing we need is just the annual usage from Excel. Unfortunately, they don't put it on the bill. All the other utility companies make it super simple for us. So they basically make us have to call, and then they just read off the kilowatt usage to us. We have the magic code since we're partnered with them, so I can just give them a quick call. It takes about 30 seconds. You just gotta say your name, and then they'll read everything off.
Oh, okay.
It's really simple.
Sure.
Bye-bye. Great. Well, it was good talking with you, Tim. Do you have any questions for us at all?
Not at this time. I've kind of been through this a couple times in Arizona.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
but the problem is AC is so high.
So high. Perfect. Well, we'll plan to stop by December 1st at 5 p.m. But yeah, we appreciate your time today, sir.
Thank you, Tim.
All right, great.
All right.
Thanks.
Have a good night,
Take
sir.
care. All right, I've gotten 2 now. You got to get one.
I'm just lucky because I got a mustache. Sales 101. Grow a mustache.
Sicko.
Just say I'm with the county sheriff.
I'm installing penises all over this neighborhood, helping out people with their penis problems. Have you heard of the penis net metering? Hi there, how's it going, sir?
Hey, it's going all right. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. My name's Daniel. This is Derek.
Hey, how's it going?
We're with Ion. We're just filming for training purposes, so if you
Okay.
don't want us to film, you can just say no. We won't bother with that.
Okay.
Essentially, why I'm out here today is actually we're part of XL's net metering program, just kind of informing
Okay,
folks
yep.
about that. Have you ever heard any literature on that or heard
Yep,
about that?
I'm aware.
Gotcha. So, a part of the program, have you looked into solar then before for your own home?
I have looked into it. Yep.
Gotcha.
The ROI for me just doesn't seem to make sense based on how long we'll likely live here. The payback just isn't the ROI just doesn't pencil out.
Now, who were you looking through? I'm just curious.
So I've looked through a couple of different places, especially looking challenging with some of the leases and things of that nature.
Yep.
The ROI, the way I figured it, ends up at about 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
Sometimes longer,
Yeah.
but 10 to 12 years. Knowing that I'm not going to be here for 10 to 12 years, I need to be somewhere in the probably that 4 to 6 year payback range.
So,
which
what if I could tell you if there's ROI day one? Part about our
I wouldn't
program
believe
is not a lease.
you. You're a shady salesman.
You're not wrong.
yep, I saw you guys.
So the nice part about our program, it's not a leasing program, it's
Okay.
an ownership program.
Okay.
So you'll see your neighbor Chris, you can actually see his
Yep,
house
I saw you
here.
guys putting them in there
We literally
earlier
just
today.
installed there. So
Yep.
the way that program works is there's no upfront cost. Essentially what happens is day one, we're installing the panels free to them. So they're not putting any money down, they're not paying anything.
Okay.
So essentially what the program does is it's a bill swap. So you go from paying XL, your monthly bill, to actually paying a solar panel payment. So essentially what we do is we look at your annual average usage,
Yep.
we average that out, and that becomes your basically solar payment. So you're basically going from a fluctuating bill to just a steady stat payment throughout
Yeah,
the year.
and it's ownership too, so it's essentially you're paying yourself. You're not paying Ion.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what's nice about this program is it's analogous to renting versus owning your home.
Right.
When you rent, you're just simply burning that money. You're avoiding risk,
Right.
but you're burning the money.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with power. By
Okay.
owning the source, you're actually keeping the money with the house. Forbes values the panel's value to 90 to 100% goes back into the equity of the house.
Okay.
So by each month making a payment on those panels, you're actually putting that money back in the home opposed to giving it to XL, which is the nice part about that. The reason why there's a day one ROI though is there's a 22% solar tax credit. What that means is the government's going to cut you if you're W-2, tax return, it'll come out of that. Or if you're 1099, it would just be a write-off. But essentially you're getting a fourth almost of the system's value day one. So that's where mostly, even if you were to close your eyes, you had solar today and you were selling the home tomorrow, you would still see at least at bare minimum that 22% of that system's value as an ROI.
Right.
So that's why it could even be worth your trouble even if you were to sell tomorrow. But I'm not here to get a yes or no. I
No,
understand
I'm just
solar's-
trying. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about the sales implication of that.
Mhm.
Convincing the next owner
So-
to take over payments,
Yeah,
things
that's,
like that.
that's a great question. I'll say generally, with this type of program, it's a lot more enticing for most homeowners, just because opposed to leasing programs in the past where it's a separate entity,
Yeah.
that can cause issues because essentially you're now looking at the panels not as part of the house.
Plus, once the lease is done in 20 years,
You don't own
you got to either renew it at their new high price,
Yep.
or you do something with the panels, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the life expectancy of panels, I know it's improved, but at the end of 20 years, you're probably needing new panels anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with this program, it's a 10-year workmanship labor warranty, and then also a 30-year system plus warranty actually on the panels themselves. So in terms of warranties, you're covered. You're never actually coming out of pocket to actually have the panels fixed or anything like that. But really and truly the nice part about this program is, like I said, you're not paying anything to get them installed, and you actually have an end date of power. And so when the next homeowner moves in, let's say again you're selling the house in this hypothetical situation,
Right.
their options are either just take over your current constant payment, because they wouldn't be paying anything more than if they were paying XL regardless.
Okay.
So in that regard, they could just close their eyes, and essentially if you were to just look at your bank account, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference whether you were paying.
Oftentimes, even if it's like 3 years, because Excel is going to be going up 4 to 6% per year,
Correct.
but you would be locked in. So if anything, they'd be paying less utilities per month than what, you know.
Annually,
Yeah.
Excel's bill goes up 4 to 6%.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the, you know, let's say the home's up for sale even, you know, 2 or 3 years down the road,
Right.
they're actually going to save money already on their actual utility bill by having the panels up there. But also, you know, the real selling point is you're keeping the money with the house. That's what's nice. And he actually just bought a home himself, so he was in close contact with a realtor at that point. Kind of got to run solar by her,
Right.
kind of ask her about her,
Yeah.
you know, issues and kind of basically her
And
deal with it.
She said most of the time, you know, it's not a big deal. People will just take over the loan because in Colorado, you know, most people like the idea of having a green home.
Yep.
But then in the off case where they don't want to take over the loan,
Right.
essentially what you can do is you can just pay off the panels and then you get the equity back out right as you sell the house. Or they can do this tricky thing where they just factor it into the equity. Yeah, I didn't really
You don't want to worry about
yeah.
that.
Exactly.
90% of the time what people do is they just take over the payment, and
Right.
it's not a big deal in those
Yep.
situations. But again, I know solar's far from a doorstep decision. I know you've kind of looked
Yeah,
into it.
we couldn't sell it to you right now if we were trying, but
Yeah.
The real point of our job is just to actually provide people more information. We're basically
Okay.
like a walking business card in that
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
Um,
And with Ion. Okay.
Correct. Essentially, what we do though is we like to build people a customized report. That way you can see where the panels would be on your home, what the actual offset would be. Basically, see if it financially even makes sense for you to put the panels on the house. Because if there's not enough offset, or
Right.
you know your usage is too minimal, then it might not make sense to even do the program, or you
Right.
might not even qualify in the first place. So we want to make sure that A, the program is a good fit for you, that it makes sense, that it's a financial no-brainer. Because for everyone, it's not, but for the people that are doing it,
Right.
it is. So
Yeah,
in
because
those-
that was the other trick that I ran into with just the amount of square foot that I have as far as roof south facing
yeah.
versus power consumption. Because of the way the roof is laid out, I don't have a
You
lot
didn't
of
offset
nice enough square foot south facing that it really would give me enough kW to really
to offset it.
Gotcha.
to-
Do you mind me asking when the last time you had someone, a solar company, do a report? Was it a few years ago?
So I'm a mechanical engineer by
Uh-huh.
degree.
Sweet.
So I do pretty well do my own.
okay.
Because I mean,
Sure,
Also,
because
the
I was
nice
gonna say, just because efficiency has gotten a little better.
Has it?
We're running 340 kilowatt panels now,
Yeah.
so we actually need less panels
Right,
to offset
okay.
now.
So we
yeah.
have
So I'll
still
have
fab monocrystalline panels. They're
Okay.
American made, but in terms of efficiency, so you see a lot of the people in the neighborhood, they have kind of the blue opaque kind of panels. They're
like
kinda
like the
ugly.
one Sunrun, or I shouldn't actually say that, but
There's another company that just happens to be installing one a little further down the street.
Yeah.
And those panels, I feel like they look a little more tacky, whereas our panels, it's black on black, they're sleek,
Hey,
they're lower
buddy.
profile.
Hey,
Yes.
This isn't your home. But you know, the efficiency on our panels is usually typically a lot higher than those Chinese-made
Okay.
panels. So in
Yeah.
a lot of those cases, we need a lot less panels.
okay,
for the
that's
actual
good to know. I
same
can rerun
usage.
those numbers.
Yeah.
But we're actually dropping some reports off. We have one that we're dropping off tomorrow. Basically throughout the week, we're having people swing by and drop those reports off. Was that something I'd be able to tee you up for and just be able
No,
to...
I like to run the numbers myself as an engineer.
Okay.
I'm kind of a nerd like that.
sure, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. The thing with our reports is I just want to make sure that, you know, it's with our panels, that
Okay,
we're
well-
designing
Yeah.
with our own system, just because we don't have a cookie cutter system. We tailor our, you know, each of our systems to your own home. So
If
it's not just...
if you ever wanted to get a report from us in the future too, you know, we're not looking for a yes or no when we drop off the report. It's really just educational. How it works is, you know, we just take 10 minutes to kind of have a conversation like we're having right now, but we'd have all the numbers on an iPad.
Right.
And then we leave that with you so you can mull it over. We know that roughly 30% of those are going to convert into sales anyway without us having to do much, just because it makes so much sense.
Right, yeah.
So that's
I
sort
mean,
of our
if the
business
payback's
model.
There, the payback's there.
Exactly. It's
So-
either a financial no-brainer. It's not.
Right.
Yeah. And so I guess what we're saying is there's no downside in getting a report. So even if you wanted to just take the information and not do anything with it, you know, we don't even care.
That way you can see
Yeah.
our side, and then you could compare and contrast your own, and that way you can have, you know, both sides. We're just trying to arm you with as much information as possible. It's kind of our job. It's
Yeah.
not our job to get you to say yes or no to a solar system.
Right.
It's our job just to get you the information. To be
Knowledge
honest
is
with
power.
you.
Yeah.
We kind of just want to put people in the driver's seat, because a lot of people have misconceptions about the program. You know, some people just don't either know about it,
Right,
don't
yeah.
understand, and we just
Yeah.
want to make sure people, kind of get the information.
It'll be
necessary.
interesting as well with policy changes in the next
It will
across
be.
the next 4 years
Yeah.
regarding renewables and where that goes. So
100%.
that'll also be interesting.
That's another
Yeah.
like politics.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of the circus that we all get to watch.
Yeah, and
At
there's
this point.
pros and cons to both sides. So you got to
Exactly.
play the pros when they're available to you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like he was saying, it would cost us pennies on the dollar to get you the report. I'd be happy to have somebody bring one by if you'd like, just tomorrow around 4 or 5.
Let me see. Yeah, 4 to 5 tomorrow
Okay.
should be all
Awesome.
right.
Can I grab a little bit of information from you, sir?
Sure.
Okay, and then I'm gonna make a quick call to Excel. It takes about
Yep.
30 seconds. We're just gonna get the average usage.
Yep.
I'm gonna
They
write
give
it
us the
down.
magic code, so we just get right through to somebody.
Yep.
All right, have a good night. Awesome. So essentially what they'll do is, you said 4 o'clock tomorrow works fine for you?
Yeah, probably closer to 5. But
Okay.
yeah.
5 would be best because we're going to be swinging by Joseph
there's
at
one
4.
right down the street that we're dropping off for, so I'll just put it in as 5. Essentially all they do, if they need 10 minutes of your time, they'll just
Okay.
bring an iPad by. That way they can show them exactly what the panels look like, offset, all that, whole 9
Sounds
yards.
good.
If you have more questions, you can ask them at that time. They're the technicians.
Okay.
They know more. You'll probably be able to pick them apart.
Yeah.
We'll probably have a little more fun with that one.
We'll put it in the note. We'll say he's an engineer.
Watch
Be
out.
prepared.
Send your sharpest guy, 'cause
Know the difference between joules, kilowatts. Know your
it's gonna
stuff.
hurt you. Awesome, Jeremy. Do you have any further questions for us while we're here?
No, I don't think so.
Awesome. Well,
Gotcha.
we appreciate your time,
It's
sir.
a pleasure
Thank
meeting you.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your help.
So that is 4 RFPs on the day. This is Shay, and we signing out. Pretty much called it for the day. Started off a little bit rough with those 2 rejections, but then I ended up getting 2 RFPs, and Shay got 2 usages too. Even though at some point he was kind of feeling down.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm always up, baby. Hard as a goddamn rock.
Well, another successful day in the field, and gang gang.